Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Whiteside, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you are joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it very much. And it's this time of year whenever we have these weather events and we have issues going on in our community, we turn our attention to the people that need to give us that information for how we can stay safe and keep each other safe. Welcome back to the program, First Lieutenant Blake Tabor, Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office, Public Information Officer. We're so very glad y'all are out there and taking care of things, and we appreciate that. So just talk a little bit about what some of the people need to be aware of here in the parish for this cold snap.
So, when it comes to weather, we're obviously going to be experiencing from all the intelligence that we're getting some pretty record-breaking temperatures.
Right.
Wind, and there could be a lot of other events that come along with that.
Right.
So we just want to make sure that people are prepared. They're doing what they need to do. Number one, specifically making sure they're staying off the road unless they have to be in the event of an emergency.
Right.
As most of you that are watching this show probably realize, Homa has been extremely busy and bustling the last few days,
correct.
and we obviously fully expect that to continue through the holiday season.
Right. Yeah, and just, people, especially those high traffic areas, and just add a little extra time.
Absolutely.
Just be prepared to slow down. I had a guy remind me of that this morning. He and I were going in different directions, and I just kind of waited. I kind of saw where it was going, and he wasn't paying attention, but I was paying attention for us.
Sure.
And that's just one of those things. We need to slow down. People are distracted, even more so than usually.
Absolutely.
And especially in those high traffic areas, Martin Luther King and some of those areas that we know just are really, really busy.
Yeah, and Martin Luther King in general. I mean, of course, we don't want to point out any particular road.
No. But
it's a road that is highly traveled, and of course, it's very congested on a non-holiday type basis.
Right.
So we want to make sure that people are doing what they have to do, and especially when these events start to happen, people maybe start to panic a little bit. So we just want to remind them it's the same thing that we always do to ensure safety.
Right.
Make sure that we're staying patient. We're not getting upset behind the wheel. We're leaving an adequate distance between us and other vehicles. Now that becomes it becomes more serious once there's an element of ice on the roadway,
Right.
or anything of that nature. So just do the things that you have to do to ensure your safety and the safety of others.
Right. And again, just try to be patient and take the holiday perspective. Let's just try to be nice to each other if we can. That includes driving and getting from where we need to go.
Put a little love in your heart.
I like that. Quote license several different songs. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on for you guys at the Sheriff's Office and what happens this time of year with regards to keeping us safe.
Sure. Of course, we have our heightened patrols that are happening just like they do throughout the entire holiday season. From a Sheriff's Office perspective, we had a couple events this past week that we're going to be talking about and releasing some information on. We had a department-wide Christmas party,
Wow.
which we were able to name several officers who received a very meritorious award for Officer of the Year.
Oh, wow.
Between different divisions in our agency. So we're very proud and excited to release that information. And then we also had our first family event for Christmas at the office. So we're going to be putting some videos out and pictures of some special things that we did for the children, which was pretty exciting. And the sheriff was very proactive in making sure that he created an environment for those officers who are working to bring family in and kind of connect the two.
Well, it's something that's been very consistent that Sheriff Saunier has done. He did it for both Halloween and Thanksgiving, and he's doing it again for this holiday season for Christmas and New Year's. And again, what it does is people tend to forget that in the line of work that y'all are in at the Sheriff's Office, y'all are away from your families more than most.
Absolutely.
And when it's holiday season, you have that heightened sense of being available. We have holiday shifts have more officers on the road than normal. And y'all are away from your families. And so for the fact that your leader and Tim, to be able to focus on that and be able to make that a priority, it reminds us why we're so very lucky to have all of law enforcement that we do in our area.
And I can tell you, those types of things have a bigger impact on some officers more than others, right? I can tell you that personally affects me. I spent a long tenured time in criminal investigations, and on several occasions I was taken away from my family. New Year's Eve, Christmas morning. There were several Christmases where I wasn't there to open up presents with my kids. And we had to do that through a video call or a chat as I'm trying to apprehend someone. So those types of things make a huge difference. And the fact that he's going above and beyond just think it shows the kind of person he is.
That's exactly right. He cares a great deal about all of our community, including
Absolutely.
your family community at the sheriff's office, and that's just a really big deal. And so kudos, and he knows I've told him personally.
Sure.
We've shared that, and we appreciate that. But it's the little things that go a long, long way at this time of year. Y'all are doing that out in our community.
Yeah, it's the Toys for Tots. It's making sure that we're cooking for certain organizations that may need a little help around the holiday season. And like we've always talked about, just put a little extra love in your heart, put a little extra care, a little extra patience and time and compassion for people. I think if we did that, not only during the holiday season, but throughout the year, this community would be better off than where we are currently.
Well, and the other thing that y'all do an exceptional job with is partnering with the community, letting people know we're here to help, we're here for support. Like you mentioned, a lot of the pictures that we showed in that Toys for Tots program, keeping some of those toys in your cruiser.
Absolutely.
And having that available and being able to make a difference, that goes a long, long way more than anything. And so we appreciate it. Some final thoughts.
Yeah, and just in closing, we want to make sure that with the cold weather coming up, people that may have to run generators, make sure you're doing that in a very well ventilated area. Always keep in mind Christmas lights. It's a huge proponent for fires, and make sure that you're monitoring your space heaters.
Well, from us here at HTV and our community, we thank you for what you do, and God bless everybody out on the road to make sure that they stay nice and safe.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
All right, we appreciate it. All right, guys, that will do it for this particular segment. Don't go anywhere. A lot more Bayou time when we continue.